Let me welcome on board now Suresh Sethi, the MD and CEO at Protean eGov Technologies, joining in right now. Suresh, hi, morning. Welcome to ET Now. Great to have you on the show. And your overall numbers have been quite above street estimates for the second quarter. But I'm just going to pick up on the margins because they seem to be a little flat at around 15.5% or so. What's the reason for that, and when do you think an uptick would come by?
Yeah, good morning, Nico. Thanks for having me here. As you've seen, we've posted a very healthy growth over last year, and year on year, the revenues are up by almost 36%. And our EBITDA is standing very strong. We are at 21% EBITDA margins, and we expect this momentum to continue for the company. It has been a good first half of the year, being a company which contributes to digital public infrastructure. I think for us, all these are DPI transactions which are playing into the growth of the company. And as Digital India progresses, I think we are on a good spree over there.
Right. Okay. That, of course, is the take coming in margins. But Suresh, I also want to probe a little bit about the demand trends and the client confidence which you're seeing right now for digital public infrastructure segment. And if you're seeing any market share gains which have been reported in these categories that you operate in over the last 3 months.
One of the largest businesses is in providing the national tax identity, the PAN card. We've naturally seen a healthy growth in the market overall in terms of the card issuances, and we've seen an increase in our market share out of this market. So that has been a big trend. And as you see, PAN card issuance is again completely linked on one side to number of accounts getting opened, which is again the inclusion criteria. Then likewise, you see the transactions which happen where PAN card is again used as an instrument for validation. So there's a healthy growth on this factor, and taxation being one of our largest businesses, we've seen good growth over there in those numbers specifically.
You know, you announced making an arm or a subsidiary in Dubai. What kind of margin profile does your international business cherish? And what kind of contribution from there do you see come by for your revenues? And what is it that your expectation and you think the scalability could be in the future?
So Nikhil, as a company which is closely involved in building digital public infrastructure, and especially the new assets we are creating, where we are contributing to open digital ecosystems, be it on digital commerce, on mobility, our existing assets on digital identity, on taxation, we see a huge demand over here, especially in the developing countries. The subsidiary is an effort to create a holding entity where we can centralize our international businesses. And we have been very actively working in multiple countries at this stage, especially in the developing world, where there is a need for foundational digital infrastructure on the lines that India built over the last decade plus. And that is what those countries are looking at. And we see a huge opportunity in contributing in those nations.
Suresh, by the way, this is Aisha. Nikunj is our managing editor, our mail anchor, who's just going to be joining in shortly into the conversation too. Not a problem. But tell me, your board has also approved an investment of about 15 crore rupees for open network for digital commerce, right? What kind of further investments and synergies can we expect from this particular investment of yours?
So we have been closely involved or engaged in the creation of open digital networks for commerce. This was an engagement we started when we built the first open mobility network in Kochi. And that same open network was then transformed to enable digital commerce and what we today see as ONDC. We've been early founder promoters also of the company along with QCI. And this is, as the company is growing, as the network is getting stronger, the company is looking at existing additional infusion of funds to support their growth objectives. And we are investing likewise over there along with a few other institutions which are likewise invested in the company.
I also want to talk about ONDC work orders, which you are currently enjoying for your company. What kind of growth potential will be there, especially in the changing fintech landscape that we're currently witnessing?
See, there's a huge transformational democratization of commerce which is getting enabled by ONDC. Today, when we look at the retail penetration of digital commerce, we are still sitting in single digits. And initiatives like ONDC, which are giving the small, MSME sellers, connecting them with the buyers in an open network where you are no longer operator-centric, but you've created a network where people can buy and sell and discover each other. It's going to be a huge transformational objective. And we clearly see that is going to be a significant growth driver for enabling penetration of digital commerce in the country. It is likewise looking at other areas, be it not just digital commerce, but enabling open finance, enabling agri-markets. So it's a huge initiative which will be very foundational in enabling discovery and connecting buyers and sellers in unbundled mode.
Good morning. Nikunj also, joins in.
Hi, Nikunj.
Finally, so nice to connect with you, Suresh. I actually wanted to interact with you when you're going public with your roadshow. Never got a chance, so I'm glad we are interacting now. And it's a great thumbs up you've got from the markets also. I mean, the stock just gone gangbusters after the listing. So, I mean, really, excellent pricing. These days, promoters don't leave a lot of money on the table, but I mean, the stock's doing phenomenally well. Markets are excited about the fact that this could be the new AI stroke data company, and data companies are the ones where the entire mood point is strong. But the challenge with the data company is also that they tend to get disrupted. So what is the moat around your business?
So if you say, Nikunj, we are very strongly involved in creation of DPIs, and that is where traditionally the company has a very strong track record of managing national level databases. And when we look at that strength, that has been one foundational strength which we have built into creating new businesses. So if today you see we are providing very foundational DPI support by providing work being done on the back of Aadhaar stack, or the India stack as we call it. And along with that, we offer tax validation services on the PAN card. And putting all that together, that today is the foundational DPI, if you may, which is today enabling all digital onboarding, digital lending, and all the digital work which is happening across the BFSI sector. So when we look at ourselves, we are at the foundational level. The company has pivoted over the last 2-3 years to also start as a product and services company where we are looking at building smart applications, providing microservices on top of the foundational layer. And at the same time, we've applied for an account aggregator license so that we complete the bouquet of services. So when you look at the moat clearly is a trusted company, which is clearly securing data for the nation, demonstrable track record over there. Our ability to then further evolve into a product and services company to connect with the consumers and the corporate through applications, and likewise creating a data DNA in the company where we've got our account aggregator license and the parent can provide analytics solutions on top of it. So I think it just covers us. It's a 360-degree business model for us, and we are very excited about that.
If the proposition is so strong, and which is what we think it is, then if I just look at the back-ended data, what we have, and this is part of your DRHP and what is available in public domain, there is volatility in your numbers. I mean, for a business where the opportunity and the sales set is so high, this is a high growth business where the margin should remain stable to steady. Why is there volatility then?
So see, some of the businesses are very stable. If we look at our businesses on taxation, on pension, on digital identity, it has strong growth vectors over there. If we look at the primary business drivers which are underlying these numbers, there is double-digit growth which has been there year on year. So we see a strong trend over there which has not deviated at all. Naturally, if we look at the numbers, you might be referring to our last 3-year numbers. Last year, we had one exceptional item where we actually did a sale of a data center. And that has actually, in a way, shown a skew over the year and then shows a dip after that. But otherwise, the foundational parameters have all been on a growth trajectory. And if we take out the exceptional item, the company has shown a strong, steady growth over the last 3 years.
Hey, Suresh, great to have you on the show, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks.